You can. You can do. You could. You could do. You can, can't you? You can, right? You can do, can't you? You can do, right? You could, couldn't you? You could, right? You could do, couldn't you? You could do, right? You cannot. You can't. You could not. You couldn't. You cannot do. You can't do. You could not do. You couldn't do. You cannot, can you? You cannot, right? You can't, can you? You can't, right? You could not, could you? You could not, right? You couldn't, could you? You couldn't, right? You cannot do, can you? You cannot do, right? You can't do, can you? You can't do, right? You could not do, could you? You could not do, right? You couldn't do, could you? You couldn't do, right? I can. I can do. I could. I could do. I can, can't I? I can, right? I can do, can't I? I can do, right? I could, couldn't I? I could, right? I could do, couldn't I? I could do, right? I cannot. I can't. I could not. I couldn't. I cannot do. I can't do. I could not do. I couldn't do. I cannot, can I? I cannot, right? I can't, can I? I can't, right? I could not, could I? I could not, right? I couldn't, could I? I couldn't, right? I cannot do, can I? I cannot do, right? I can't do, can I? I can't do, right? I could not do, could I? I could not do, right? I couldn't do, could I? I couldn't do, right? He can. He can do. He could. He could do. He can, can't he? He can, right? He can do, can't he? He can do, right? He could, couldn't he? He could, right? He could do, couldn't he? He could do, right? he cannot, he can't, he could not, he couldn't, he cannot do, he can't do, he could not do, he couldn't do. He cannot, can he? He cannot, right? He can't, can he? He can't, right? He could not, could he? He could not, right? He couldn't, could he? He couldn't, right? He cannot do, can he? He cannot do, right? He can't do, can he? He can't do, right? He could not do, could he? He could not do, right? He couldn't do, could he? He couldn't do, right? She can. She can do. She could. She could do. She can, can't she? She can, right? She can do, can't she? She can do, right? She could, couldn't she? She could, right? She could do, couldn't she? She could do, right? She cannot. She can't. She could not. She couldn't. She cannot do. She can't do. She could not do. She couldn't do. She cannot, can she? She cannot, right? She can't, can she? She can't, right? She could not, could she? She could not, right? She couldn't, could she? She couldn't, right? She cannot do, can she? She cannot do, right? She can't do, can she? She can't do, right? She could not do, could she? She could not do, right? She couldn't do, could she? She couldn't do, right? They can. They can do. They could. They could do. They can, can't they? They can, right? They can do, can't they? They can do, right? They could, couldn't they? They could, right? They could do, couldn't they? They could do, right? They cannot. They can't. They could not. They couldn't. They cannot do. They can't do. They could not do. They couldn't do. They cannot, can they? They cannot, right? They can't, can they? They can't, right? They could not, could they? They could not, right? They couldn't, could they? They couldn't, right? They cannot do, can they? They cannot do, right? They can't do, can they? They can't do, right? They could not do, could they? They could not do, right? They couldn't do, could they? They couldn't do, right? We can. We can do. We could. We could do. We can, can't we? We can, right? We can do, can't we? We can do, right? We could, couldn't we? We could, right? We could do, couldn't we? We could do, right? We cannot. We can't. We could not. We couldn't. We cannot do. We can't do. We could not do. We couldn't do. We cannot, can they? We cannot, right? We can't, can they? We can't, right? We could not, could they? We could not, right? We couldn't, could they? We couldn't, right? We cannot do, can they? We cannot do, right? We can't do, can they? We can't do, right? We could not do, could they? We could not do, right? We couldn't do, could they? We couldn't do, right? The boy can. The boy can do. The boy could. The boy could do. The boy can, can't he? The boy can, right? The boy can do, can't he? The boy can do, right? The boy could, couldn't he? The boy could, right? The boy could do, couldn't he? The boy could do, right? The boy cannot. The boy can't. The boy could not. The boy couldn't. The boy cannot do. The boy can't do. The boy could not do. The boy couldn't do. The boy cannot, can he? The boy cannot, right? The boy can't, can he? The boy can't, right? The boy could not, could he? The boy could not, right? The boy couldn't, could he? The boy couldn't, right? The boy cannot do, can he? The boy cannot do, right? The boy can't do, can he? The boy can't do, right? The boy could not do, could he? The boy could not do, right? The boy couldn't do, could he? The boy couldn't do, right? The boys can. The boys can do. The boys could. The boys could do. The boys can, can't they? The boys can, right? The boys can do, can't they? The boys can do, right? The boys could, couldn't they? The boys could, right? The boys could do, couldn't they? The boys could do, right? The boys cannot. The boys can't. The boys could not. The boys couldn't. The boys cannot do. The boys can't do. The boys could not do. The boys couldn't do. The boys cannot, can they? The boys cannot, right? The boys can't, can they? The boys can't, right? The boys could not, could they? The boys could not, right? The boys couldn't, could they? The boys couldn't, right? The boys cannot do, can they? The boys cannot do, right? The boys can't do, can they? The boys can't do, right? The boys could not do, could they? The boys could not do, right? The boys couldn't do, could they? The boys couldn't do, right? The girl can. The girl can do. The girl could. The girl could do. The girl can, can't she? The girl can, right? The girl can do, can't she? The girl can do, right? The girl could, couldn't she? The girl could, right? The girl could do, couldn't she? The girl could do, right? The girl cannot. The girl can't. The girl could not. The girl couldn't. The girl cannot do. The girl can't do. The girl could not do. The girl couldn't do. The girl cannot, can she? The girl cannot, right? The girl can't, can she? The girl can't, right? The girl could not, could she? The girl could not, right? The girl couldn't, could she? The girl couldn't, right? The girl cannot do, can she? The girl cannot do, right? The girl can't do, can she? The girl can't do, right? The girl could not do, could she? The girl could not do, right? The girl couldn't do, could she? The girl couldn't do, right? The girls can. The girls can do. The girls could. The girls could do. The girls can, can't they? The girls can, right? The girls can do, can't they? The girls can do, right? The girls could, couldn't they? The girls could, right? The girls could do, couldn't they? The girls could do, right? The girls cannot. The girls can't. The girls could not. The girls couldn't. The girls cannot do. The girls can't do. The girls could not do. The girls couldn't do. The girls cannot, can they? The girls cannot, right? The girls can't, can they? The girls can't, right? The girls could not, could they? The girls could not, right? The girls couldn't, could they? The girls couldn't, right? The girls cannot do, can they? The girls cannot do, right? The girls can't do, can they? The girls can't do, right? The girls could not do, could they? The girls could not do, right? The girls couldn't do, could they? The girls couldn't do, right?